Hello everyone, a warm welcome to all of you in the current affair revision session series on EduTap for the NABARD Grade A exam, and I really believe that all of you are really preparing well for upcoming NABARD Grade A exam. And as you all know that we are running this current affairs revision series for all the NABARD Grade A aspirants, and today is basically the fourth day of this particular revision session series in which previously we are covering the reports and indices, and after that we will be covering the most important MCQs on the government schemes. So today guys, this is, as you can see here, this is the part 4 session of the reports and indices. Earlier we have covered most important reports and indices, and in the last edition of this particular session I have already covered the National Family Health Survey, we have covered the SECC, the census, as well as the National Education Policy 2022. So guys, now before beginning this session, all of you are requested to first of all give me a thumbs up in the comment section if I am audible and visible to all of you. So good evening Vishal. So I am getting the responses from the people here that I am audible and visible to all of you. So guys, that's really great thing. So now guys, as I want to tell you that this is the part 4 of this particular session, and here today we are going to discuss the most important national and international reports for the NABARD Grade A exam. So guys, now before beginning this session, as you can see here, the whole schedule of the current affairs revision session series for the reports and schemes, in which we are going to cover all the special reports and schemes which are really very important from the NABARD Grade A exam. ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो we are already done with these particular first 3 parts, and today is the fourth one in which we are going to discuss the very important reports, that is the periodic labor force survey. We are also going to cover the economic survey, then union budget, and other important reports as well, which are really very important from the exam point of view. So good evening content to Victor Solomon. So I really believe guys that all of you are really excited for the today's session. Now, but before beginning this particular session, if you are new to your YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of these sessions. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पर सेशन को स्टार्ट करने से पहले एक छोटी सी इंफॉर्मेशन आप सभी के लिए, that when you will be answering the questions, always put the question number and then the option that you think is the right answer. ठीक है जी, so let us begin with the very first question of our today's session, which is here on your screen. So the very first question here is guys on the periodic labor force survey, a very important report. ठीक है, तो periodic labor force survey, and I already told you in the previous session as well that whenever any reports and indices you are covering, the very first dimension that you are required to cover is basically that what exactly is the releasing body for that particular report. ठीक है, तो periodic labor force survey की जब हम बात करें, so you are required to tell me that what exactly is the releasing body for this particular survey. So here the options are World Bank, Niti Aayog, NSO, the Employee Provident Fund Organization, or the Labor Bureau. So here I am getting the right answers from the people. Nilesh, Spandana, Rathod, Victor, Content, Albert, everybody is saying that NSO is the right answer, and absolutely right guys, the right answer is National Statistical Office. And when I talk about another important part, the very basic thing, that what exactly was the reference year for which, the reference period for which this PLFS report was being released, and that particular period is basically July 2020 to June 2021. So this is basically the reference period for which the PLFS report was being released in the month of June 2022. So I hope this is clear. Now let's move on to the next question. So guys, here the next question is, you are just required to tell me that which of the following statements are correct about the PLFS report which was being released recently. So whenever you find such kind of questions, what you are required to do, always just focus on the keywords. What exactly are the keywords here? The very first thing is that it was started in 2008 to assess the unemployment after the global financial crisis. The second statement says that it is basically having the 2 major objectives. The third statement says that it presents the estimates basically at the national level. So quickly tell me that what exactly is the right answer here. You are just required to identify the correct statement, and here guys, when I talk about the right answer is option B, that is only second statement is correct. The statement number 1 is incorrect, the statement number 3 is incorrect. So let's see that what exactly the wrong part was there. See guys, here you can see that this was basically the 4th annual report, the 4th edition of the PLFS survey report. ठीक है जी, apart from that, when I talk about the very first thing, that what exactly was the wrong part in the third statement, it stated that it is basically released for only national level, but here guys you are required to note down here that this particular report also gives us the data about the national as well as at the state level, and that is the reason that why the statement third was incorrect. ठीक है जी. Apart from that, here you can see that the PLFS was basically launched from April 2017 and the availability of the labor force data at more frequent time intervals. And when I talk about that, what exactly are the two major objectives of this, that is basically to the measured employment and unemployment, to give employment and unemployment related data, and that is why this particular report is really very important from the exam point of view. And all of you have answered the question correctly, that is option B, that is only second statement is correct. Okay, now let's move on to the third statement. Sorry, the third question, and here it is on your screen. Once again, you are required to tell me that which among the following are the key employment and unemployment indicators of the PLFS. See, when I talk about the periodic labor force survey, it basically gives the data across some certain parameters which it basically assesses, and across those particular parameters or the indicators which are mentioned here, you are required to identify that which one of the following are these particular indicators which are mentioned correctly. So for example, in the very first statement it is talking about LFPR, that is labor force participation rate. The second statement is talking about the WPR, and the third statement says about the activity status, that is it is determined on the basis of a reference period of last 7 days preceding the date of survey, which is known as a usual activity status of the person. So guys, quickly tell me what is the right answer. Question number 3, what is the right answer here? So here I am getting that people are opting the option number A as the right answer. That is only statement 1. Absolutely right guys, the right answer is option 1. So here you can see all the important indicators which this particular PLFS data basically provides us the data. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो क्या है LFPR, that is the labor force participation rate. We have worker population ratio, we have unemployment rate, and all these particular data are being provided to us by the PLFS report on the usual status as well as the current weekly status. तो यहाँ पर सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है कि बेसिकली क्या इनका डेफिनेशन है. ठीक है, लेबर फोर्स पार्टिसिपेशन इट इज डिफाइंड एज द परसेंटेज ऑफ पर्संस इन द लेबर फोर्स. तो लेबर फोर्स पार्टिसिपेशन रेट क्या है? इट इज बेसिकली द परसेंटेज ऑफ द पर्संस इन द लेबर फोर्स. ठीक है, नाउ द सेकंड इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज द WPR, दैट इज द वर्कर पॉपुलेशन रेशियो. तो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज? It is basically the percentage of the employed persons in the population. This is basically the worker population ratio. And when I talk about the unemployment rate, it is basically the persons unemployed among the persons in the labor force. That means जो labor force के अंदर जो लोग हैं जो unemployed हैं, that is basically called the unemployment rate. Now let's move on to the another important concept of the activity status. So activity status is basically, there are two kind of activity status, that is the usual status and the current weekly status. When I talk about the usual activity status, it is basically the status for the reference period of last 365 days, that whether the person was employed or not. And when I talk about the second important status, that is the current weekly status, in this we are having a reference period of last 7 days preceding the date of the survey, and that is known as the current weekly status of the person. So these are the important terms that you are required to remember from the exam point of view, because a conceptual question can also come out from such kind of very important report, that is the periodic labor force survey. ठीक है जी, now let's move on to the next question. So the next question, you are required to tell me that what exactly is the percentage distribution of urban households as per the PLFS 2020-2021. So let's see who will answer the question correctly here. You are just required to tell me the percentage distribution of the urban households. So guys, quickly tell me what is the right answer here. Option 8, 30.9, 28.9, 29.0, 69.1 or the 71.1. So these are the questions that are really very important from the PLFS report, and that is why we are covering all such kind of questions, all the important questions on the important dimensions today I will be covering from the PLFS. ठीक है जी, do not worry about it. So when I talk about the right answer is 30.9. So basically 30.9 is the percentage distribution of urban households as per the PLFS 2020-2021. तो यहाँ पर now the next question is basically on the female sex ratio. So now quickly tell me that what exactly is the female sex ratio as per the PLFS 2020-2021. See, we have already covered the sex ratio in the census part that we have covered yesterday. ठीक है, उसके अंदर हमने ये भी देखा कि कौन सी स्टेट के अंदर हाईएस्ट है, कौन सी स्टेट के अंदर लोएस्ट है. ओवरऑल इंडिया का सेक्स रेशियो क्या है? अब यहाँ पर आपको मुझे बताना है कि बेसिकली फीमेल सेक्स रेशियो क्या है इन इंडिया एज पर द PLFS report 2021. Question number 5. Absolutely right, guys. The right answer to the question is 960. That is option D. So option D is the right answer to this question. और यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो there is a very beautiful table here. जहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो कि सारा important data जो important findings है PLFS report की, they are mentioned in this particular part. For example, when I talk about the percentage of the distribution of households, it is basically 30.9 in the urban and 69.1 in the rural areas. When I talk about the percentage distribution of population between the rural and urban area, that is also being mentioned. Now when I talk about the sex ratio, it was 960. When I talk about the average household size across India, so this particular part was basically 4.1. So these are the important things that you are required to remember from the exam point of view, and everything has been provided to you in just one single table that is already taken directly from the PLFS document. ठीक है जी, I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. And the next question, you are going to tell me that what exactly is the labor force participation rate. I already told you that there are some various indicators across which the data is being provided by the PLFS. For example, the labor force participation rate, unemployment rate. So you are required to remember the data on such kind of findings. So now you are going to tell me that LFPR की जो हम बात करते हैं LFPR की, तो what exactly it was in the usual status of in India in 2020-21, and here guys the right answer is 41.6%. So 41.6% was the labor force participation rate in the usual status in India in year 2020-2021. Across required to tell me about the unemployment rate. So guys, now we have already covered the labor force participation rate. Now we are having the next question, we are having the unemployment rate. So quickly tell me that what is the right answer here. The unemployment rate in females in rural India. तो हमने पिछले क्वेश्चन में पढ़ा ओवरऑल LFPR. अब यहाँ पर हम बात कर रहे हैं अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट ओनली इन द फीमेल, वो भी in the rural areas. So what is the right answer here guys? Quickly tell me in the comment section. Here let's see who will answer the question correctly. So Nilesh, Megharun and everybody is saying that option number C is the right answer. Absolutely right. The right answer is 2.1%. That is when I talk about the unemployment rate of females in the rural India. It is basically 2.1%. तो आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं ओवरऑल व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट द अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट वाज 4.2%. रूरल एरियाज की बात करें तो उसके अंदर फीमेल है 2.1, मेल है 3.9. अर्बन की बात करें तो उसमें मेल है 6.1, फीमेल है 8.6%. सो दीज आर द वैल्यूज जिसको आप सिर्फ तभी याद कर सकते हैं जब आपने अच्छे से रिवीजन की हो इस पर्टिकुलर रिपोर्ट की. ठीक है, एंड दैट इज व्हाई एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे आपको बाइफर्केशन करना बहुत ही मुश्किल रहेगा. तो उसके लिए हम ये रिवीजन सीरीज लेकर आए हैं जिससे कि आप इजीली बाइफर्केट कर सके एग्जाम में कि क्या एग्जैक्टली डेटा है रिगार्डिंग टू दैट पर्टिकुलर इंडिकेटर. ठीक है जी, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन द वर्कर पॉपुलेशन रेशियो, द थर्ड पैरामीटर, द थर्ड इंडिकेटर व्हिच इज बीइंग प्रोवाइडेड बाय द PLFS. ठीक है, तो मुझे जल्दी जल्दी बताइए कि द वर्कर पॉपुलेशन रेशियो for males in the urban India in 2020-2021. What is the right answer here? What is exactly the worker population ratio of males in urban India in 2020-2021? So we are basically covering all the dimensions of such kind of questions. Earlier we are having a question on the overall India scenario, then we are having on the female in only rural India, and now we are basically having the worker population ratio of males in the urban India. ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पर when I talk about the right answer is 54.9%. तो 54.9% absolutely right Vishal. The right answer is option D, that is 54.9%. तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो बेसिकली व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट द वर्कर पॉपुलेशन रेशियो, दैट इज सी, आपको यहाँ पर ओवरऑल इंडिया की वैल्यूज को याद रखना सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है. ठीक है, दैट इज 39.8%. व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट इन द रूरल एरियाज इट वाज 54.9% फॉर द मेल, 27.1% फॉर द फीमेल. In the urban areas 54.9 for the male and 17.0 for the female. So these are the important part. Apart from that, for the age group of 15 to 29 and above 15 years, it is already been mentioned here. You can just go through them on your own. Now we are moving towards the next question, and the next question is, what is the literacy rate? See, we are already covered the literacy rate of India in the census, but as per the PLFS for the reference period July to June 2021, here you are going to tell me that what is the literacy rate among the person of age 7 years and above during the 2020-2021. So let's see who will answer the question correctly. Question number 9, which is on the literacy rate for the age group of 7 years and above. And guys, here in this question, the right answer is option D, that is 79.2%. So Albert, Nilesh, Megha, everybody have answered the question correctly. That is 79.2%. ठीक है जी, तो आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हो literacy rate in both rural and urban areas was higher. Basically, males once again they are dominating here, as the literacy rate of the males are higher as compared to the females in both rural as well as the urban areas. ठीक है, rural areas में आप देखें तो it was 83.2% among the males, and in the urban areas it was 92.2% among the males, and when I talk about the females it was 83.3%. ठीक है, I hope this is clear guys. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question you are required to identify once again the correct statement. ठीक है, हमेशा I always tell you that whenever you are covering and are having such kind of statement based questions, always focus on the keywords. What exactly is the keyword here? First of all, see the demand of the question. It is basically asking you that what exactly, which of the following statements are correct in relation with the PLFS report which was released recently. So going by the keywords only, here you can see that in CWS the unemployment rate was 7.2% among the males and 4.8% among the females in the rural areas. Then it is talking about the unemployment rate for the age group of 15 to 29 years. Then after that it is basically having about the usual status. Unemployment rate was 6.1% among the males and 8.6% among the females. So we are already covered with this kind of data in our previous questions, and now I really think that you are able to answer this particular question. So quickly tell me what is the right answer to the question number 10. What is the right answer guys? Just tell me that what exactly is the correct statement in relation with this particular part which are being mentioned here. And here guys, the right answer is option D, that is only statement 1 and 3 is correct, and there is some kind of wrong part in the statement 2. What exactly it is, let us look into it. See here, it says that unemployment rate among the urban male youth, that is of the person of the age 15 to 29 years, was 17.6% in 2020-2021, but this is not correct. When I talk about the exact value, it was basically 16.6%, and in the question it was mentioned 17.6%, and that is why it is incorrect. And see guys, और इसी तरीके से जस्ट एक छोटी छोटी वैल्यूज को हम ट्विस्ट करके एक क्वेश्चन बना सकते हैं, और एग्जाम के अंदर भी ऐसा हो सकता है, एंड दैट इज व्हाई यू मस्ट बी वेरी केयरफुल while answering such kind of questions which are really data heavy. और ये data heavy questions आप कैसे solve कर सकते हैं? By only revising these kind of reports and indices again and again. ठीक है जी, moving on to the next question. Now we are moving towards a very important document that is your all time favorite of the examiners as well, that is the union budget. ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पर हम बात कर रहे हैं अमृत काल की. तो यहाँ पर आपको मुझे बताना है कि which of the following is not one of these priorities of the अमृत काल. ठीक है, quickly go through all these particular options and tell me that what is the right answer here. Is it PM Gati Shakti, inclusive development, or it is productivity enhancement, investment, sunrise opportunities, financing of the investments, or it is the creating employment? So what is the right answer here? So Vishal, Albert, Nilesh, Megha, everybody is saying that option E is the right answer. Absolutely right. The right answer is creating employment, which is not the priority area here as per the अमृत काल. ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो कि बेसिकली जो सभी हमारे इंपॉर्टेंट प्रायोरिटी एरियाज हैं, these are PM गति शक्ति, इंक्लूसिव डेवलपमेंट, this we have already covered, and then financing of the investments. So these are the important data that we are required to remember from the exam point of view. Now जब हम बात करें PM गति शक्ति की, this is a very important thing. ठीक है, तो PM गति शक्ति जो स्कीम है बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट स्कीम है, और इसके 7 इंजन है जो कि इसको ड्राइव करते हैं. What exactly are those 7 engines? That is also very important. These 7 engines are road, railway, airport, port, mass transport, waterways, and logistics infrastructure. So these are the 7 engines which are basically the driving engines of the PM Gati Shakti scheme. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर आप और ज्यादा important कुछ details आपको mention की गई हैं. You can just go through them on your own. Let's move on to the next question, and the next question is basically about what is India's predicted growth for the current year as per the union budget which was being released in the month of February 2022. So quickly tell me what is the right answer. What is India's predicted growth for the financial year for the current year. So here guys, options are 8.2%, 8.6, 8.9.6, 7.8 or 9.2% here. To the question number 12 guys, here the right answer is option number E, that is 9.2%. So India ki economic growth for the current year as per the union budget is basically 9.2%. Kindly mark this number because it is really very important from the exam point of view. ठीक है जी, let's move on to the next question. So the next question you are going to tell me that इसमें से क्या हमारा एलोकेशन है इन ऑर्डर टू एक्सपेंड द नेशनल हाईवे बाय 25,000 किलोमीटर्स फॉर द ईयर 2022 टू 2023. दैट मींस 2022-23 तक के लिए जो हम एक्सपेंड करने वाले हैं अपने नेशनल हाईवेज को, तो उसके लिए जो हमारी एलोकेशन है, कितना हमें मोबिलाइजेशन अमाउंट लगेगा, दैट इज व्हाट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी हियर. एंड गाइस, हियर इन दिस क्वेश्चन द राइट आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन इज 20,000 करोड़. एब्सोल्युटली राइट. अनुराधा, नीलेश, विशाल, एल्बर्ट, Preeti Maurya, everybody has answered the question correctly. That is 20,000 crore rupees for the which is will be used as a mobilization amount for expanding the national highways by 25,000 kilometers. See, this particular value is also very important. A question can come up on this particular data as well. ठीक है जी. Now let's move on to the next question. But before that, here you can see that road transport will be expanded by 25,000 kilometers. There will be multimodal logistic parks. There will be railways. ठीक है, रेलवे के अंदर बात करें तो वन स्टेशन वन प्रोडक्ट को के कॉन्सेप्ट को ये बेसिकली यहाँ पर प्रमोट कर रहे हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट 2,000 kilometers of the railway network be brought under the Kavach, which is indigenously made. That is a world-class anti-collision particular technology which is being launched in India. तो 2,000 किलोमीटर का जो रेलवे नेटवर्क है उसको यहाँ पर कवच के अंदर लेके आने वाले हैं. उसके अलावा there will be 100 PM गति शक्ति cargo terminals for the multimodal logistics. So all these particular data is very important from the exam point of view. और एक और चीज है जो आपको go through करनी है खुद, that is पर्वतमाला. The Parvatmala initiative which was launched during the union budget. ठीक है, a very important initiative of the India. Now let's move on to the next question. So guys, here the next question. Basically you are required to tell me कि जो chemical free natural farming को हम प्रमोट करने वाले हैं, this will be basically a initial focus on the farmers lands in dash kilometer wide corridors along the river Ganga. तो basically यूनियन बजट में क्या कहा गया कि basically जो हमारी रिवर गंगा जा रही है उसके दोनों ही तरफ हमारा कितने किलोमीटर का कॉरिडोर हो जहां पर हम केमिकल फ्री नेचुरल फार्मिंग को प्रमोट करेंगे. सो हियर गाइस, व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट द राइट आंसर हियर, एब्सोल्युटली राइट, द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन सी, दैट इज 5 किलोमीटर्स. सो 5 किलोमीटर इज द राइट आंसर टू दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. तो यहां पर आप देख सकते हो 2.37 लाख करोड़, सी 2.37 लाख करोड़ डायरेक्ट पेमेंट to 1.63 crore farmers for the procurement of wheat and paddy will be given. यहाँ पर ये डेटा इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों है? See, you guys are preparing for the NABARD Grade A exam. तो एग्रीकल्चर से रिलेटेड जो भी चीजें यूनियन बजट में इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में आपको देखने को मिलती हैं, that becomes really important from the exam point of view. And that is the reason कि ये जो हमारा डेटा है एग्रीकल्चर से रिलेटेड from the union budget, it is really very important from the exam point of view. ठीक है. Now the next question is on the ramp. See, we all know कि कोविड के टाइम पे जो हमारा MSME सेक्टर है क्या हुआ था, वो बेसिकली गिर पड़ा था. तो उसको वापस से लाने के लिए एक रैंप यहाँ पर लॉन्च किया है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने. बट वो रैंप क्या है? इट इज अ स्कीम जिसके लिए 6,000 करोड़ रुपीस ऑलरेडी अलॉट किए जा चुके हैं. तो उस रैंप के अंदर M की क्या फुल फॉर्म है? दैट इज व्हाट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी हियर. Here the question is, in ramp, what does M stands for? So quickly tell me what is the right answer here. What does M stands for? Absolutely right, guys. The right answer is MSME, that is raising and accelerating MSME's performance. That is the right answer to this particular part. Here you can see raising and accelerating MSME performance program which has been launched with an outlay of 6,000 crore rupees which will be rolled out in India. ठीक है जी, this is very important part. Now the next question. In the next question you are required to tell me that under the National Telemental Health Program, which of the following is the authority will be the nodal agency in setting up the telehealth centers. तो यहाँ पर गाइस टेली हेल्थ सेंटर जो हम लॉन्च करने वाले हैं उसकी नोडल एजेंसी कौन सी होने वाली है? इज इट the National Institute of Mental Health Sciences, or it is the Indian Council for Medical Research, International Institute of Information Technology Bangalore, Indian IIT Bangalore, IIC Bangalore, or AIIMS Delhi? So what is the right answer to the question number 16 here? Just tell me the nodal agency guys to this particular part that under which we are going to launch the National Health Centers. And absolutely right, the right answer to the question is option A, that is NIMHANS. That is National Institute of Mental Health and or neurosciences? That is the right answer to this question, option A. So Soumya, Anuradha, Megha, Ravi Shankar, everybody has answered the question correctly. That is Nimhans. Absolutely right, guys. तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो there will be 23 telemental health centers which will be set up. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर हेल्थ से रिलेटेड और जो हमारी चीजें हैं यहाँ पर सभी चीज दी गई हैं आपको. You can go through them on your own. And apart from that, very important thing, the outlay for the flagship schemes, the flagship initiatives launched by the government of India. For example, the Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0, then we have PM Poshan, Mission Vatsalya, Mission Shakti, उन सभी के आपके outlays यहाँ पर given है. You should go through them because these are really very important initiatives taken by the government of India. और ये बहुत ही ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. ठीक है, दैट इज व्हाई ऑल ऑफ देम हैव बीन कवर्ड कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली हियर. यू कैन गो थ्रू देम एंड दे आर रियली गोइंग टू फेच यू एडिशनल मार्क्स इन द एग्जाम. ठीक है जी, लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. एंड द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू जस्ट टेल मी दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द एलोकेशन फॉर द हर घर नल से जल. हर घर नल से जल के लिए यहाँ पर कितना एलोकेशन दिया है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने फॉर द फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2022-2023. सी ऐसे जितने भी इनिशिएटिव्स हैं, एज आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू इन द प्रीवियस स्लाइड, कि ये बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. हर घर नल से जल, इट इज वंस अगेन अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. तो यहाँ पर क्या एलोकेशन गवर्नमेंट ने दिया है फॉर द ईयर 2022-2023? दिस इज बेसिकली 60,000 करोड़. तो इसी तरीके से जो बाकी के इनिशिएटिव्स है ये आपको याद रखने जरूरी है फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. ठीक है, नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. एंड द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज हाउ मेनी हाउसेज हैव बीन आइडेंटिफाइड एज एलिजिबल बेनिफिशियरीज फॉर द पीएम आवास योजना. पीएम आवास योजना के लिए जो कितने यहाँ पर घर हैं, कितने लाख घर हैं जिनको हमने एज अ बेनिफिशियरी यहाँ पर एलिजिबल बेनिफिशियरी आइडेंटिफाई किया है अंडर द पीएम आवास योजना. दैट इज व्हाट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी टू द क्वेश्चन नंबर 18. इज इट 80 लाख, 40 lakh, 60 lakh, 20 lakh or 100 lakh? So guys, what is the right answer here? Quickly tell me in the comment section to the question number 18. So most of the people are going with the option number that is 20 lakh, and that is not the right answer, guys. The right answer is 80 lakh. So 80 lakh is the right answer. Kunal has answered the question correctly. Kunal, Pavitra, Ravi Shankar have answered the question correctly. That is 80 lakh. ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पर हम देखें सभी इंपॉर्टेंट इनिशिएटिव्स. हर घर नल से जल के अंदर 3.8 करोड़ हाउस होल्ड्स टू बी कवर्ड बाय 2022-2023. पीएम आवास योजना के अंदर 80 लाख हाउसेज. PM Divine Initiative, Prime Minister Development Initiative for the Northeast region. So that is what a very very important initiative taken by the government of India. Apart from that, आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हो एक और बहुत ज्यादा important initiative है, that is scheduled commercial banks to set up 75 digital banking units in the 75 districts. 75 के डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स के अंदर 75 हम अपने डिजिटल बैंकिंग यूनिट्स को लॉन्च करने वाले हैं. एंड दीज आर द पॉइंट्स दैट यू मस्ट रिमेंबर फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू फ्रॉम द यूनियन बजट. ठीक है जी, लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. एंड द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज income from the transfer of virtual assets will be taxed at. कितना परसेंट टैक्स लगेगा अगर हम इनकम को ट्रांसफर करते हैं वर्चुअल एसेट्स की. फॉर एग्जांपल क्रिप्टो करेंसी, तो यहाँ पर क्रिप्टो करेंसी वी ऑल नो दैट इट इज रियली इमर्जिंग, और इसके अंदर यहाँ पर गवर्नमेंट ने इसको टैक्सेबल किया है. तो जब भी हम करेंगे कोई ऐसा ट्रांसफर, इनकम ट्रांसफर, तो कितना उसके ऊपर टैक्स लगने वाला है, दैट इज व्हाट हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन द क्वेश्चन. एंड हियर गाइस द राइट आंसर इज एब्सोल्युटली 30%. सो नीलेश, रवि, अनुराधा, म्यूजिक, एवरीबॉडी हैज आंसर्ड द क्वेश्चन करेक्टली. दैट इज ऑप्शन सी, दैट इज 30% here. Moving on to the next question. In the next question you are required to tell me कि जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने यूनियन बजट के अंदर एक पर्टिकुलर स्कीम को यहाँ पर एक्सपेंड किया है, एक्सटेंड किया है उसकी टाइमलाइन को. व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हियर the scheme here in the question is ECLGS, that is Emergency Credit Linked Guarantee Scheme. तो इस स्कीम को हमने कब तक के लिए एक्सटेंड किया है, that is the question. And here guys, the right answer to the question is March 2023, by the period of which the ECLGS scheme has been extended by the government of India under the union budget 2022-2023. So absolutely right guys, I'm getting the right answers from the people. Well done to all of you. Let's move on to the next question. And now we are moving towards, before moving towards the next particular part, here you can see the ministry wise allocation has been given to all of you. Ministry wise allocations यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो, यहाँ पर इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर में दी गई है. सबसे ज्यादा अगर मैं एलोकेशन की बात करूं किसी मिनिस्ट्री को, इट वाज गिवन टू द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस हियर. और यहाँ पर हम देखते हैं कि ऊपर ऊपर जाते तो आप देखते हो कि मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कम्युनिकेशंस, देन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ केमिकल एंड फर्टिलाइजर, एग्रीकल्चर, फार्मर वेलफेयर. तो गाइस यहाँ पर मैं आपको बता दूं, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड फार्मर वेलफेयर, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट, इनके जो भी एलोकेशंस हैं, इनके जो प्रोग्राम्स है, स्कीम्स है, उनसे रिलेटेड जितने एलोकेशंस है उनको अच्छे से पढ़िएगा. क्योंकि you all know that in the NABARD Grade A exam there is a part of agriculture and rural development, and that is why this kind of ministries and their programs become really important from the exam point of view. ठीक है जी, I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question, and the next question is a very helpful question to all of you. The question is from the Economic Survey of India, and you are just required to tell me that what exactly is the theme of the Economic Survey of India 2021-2022. यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन में सिर्फ आपसे थीम पूछी गई है कि सेंट्रल थीम क्या थी इकोनॉमिक सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया की, एंड आई एम गेटिंग द राइट आंसर्स फ्रॉम द पीपल हियर. एब्सोल्युटली राइट गाइस, द राइट आंसर इज agile approach. तो agile approach is the right answer to this question. So everybody has answered the question correctly. तो यहाँ पर हम देख लेते हैं Economic Survey of India guys, it is a annual document and है किसका, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस का. इसको प्रिपेयर कौन करता है? वंस अगेन अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन व्हिच कैन कम इन द एग्जाम. जब हम बात करते हैं इसको प्रिपेयर कौन करता है, इट इज बीइंग प्रिपेयर्ड बाय द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक अफेयर्स अंडर द गाइडेंस ऑफ चीफ इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर टू इंडिया. ठीक है, तो यहां पर आप देख सकते हो सेंट्रल थीम उसकी थी बेसिकली एजाइल अप्रोच. सो दीज आर द इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स दैट यू शुड रिमेंबर फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, and the next question you are required to tell me that what exactly is the expected growth rate for India for the financial year 2021-2022. Sorry, for the 2022-2023 it is being asked in the question. ठीक है, तो मुझे जल्दी जल्दी बताओ कि 2022-23 के लिए इंडिया की जो एक्सपेक्टेड ग्रोथ रेट है वो कितनी रहने वाली है. क्विकली टेल मी इन द कमेंट सेक्शन व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर. So most of the people are opting option number B as the right answer, and that is absolutely right. The right answer is 8 to 8.5%, which is basically the expected growth rate for India for the fiscal year 2022-2023. ठीक है जी, so let's move on to the next question. And guys, here you can see 8.0 to 8.5% is the right answer. और जब हम बात करते हैं अगले उस पार्ट की, तो यहाँ पर इंडियन इकोनॉमी is estimated to grow by 9.2% in the real terms in year 2021-2022. That is जो हमारा पिछला फाइनेंशियल ईयर था उसके लिए हमारी जो थी वो थी 9.2%, एंड फॉर प्रेजेंट वन इट इज बेसिकली 8.0 to 8.5%. तो यहाँ पर आपको बाइफर्केशन याद रहनी चाहिए, याद रहना चाहिए कि प्रेजेंट ईयर का क्या है, पिछले साल का क्या था. ठीक है, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हिच वन ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट वन ऑफ द 5 रिस्क. सी यहाँ पर क्वेश्चंस को बड़े ध्यान से पढ़िएगा. यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन में आपको ऑल ऑफ द अबव भी मेंशन्ड है. ठीक है, ऑल ऑफ द अबव मेंशन्ड है, और यहाँ पर आपको दिया है कि नॉट वन ऑफ द 5 रिस्क. जो 5 रिस्क इंडिया को बेसिकली जो इंडिया फेस करने वाला है इन द अपकमिंग पीरियड, यू आर जस्ट रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी कि इसमें से वो कौन सा नहीं है. तो क्विकली गो थ्रू ऑल दिस पर्टिकुलर रिस्क वेरी केयरफुली एंड देन टेल मी व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर हियर. यहाँ पर हम बात करें जो रिस्क की, तो गाइस हियर ऑल ऑफ द अबव इज द राइट आंसर. तो हम एक बार देख लेते हैं कि वो सारे रिस्क है कौन से जो कि इंडिया फेस करने वाला है as per the economic survey. That is a fracture of the interstate relations, debt crisis in the large economies, widespread youth disillusionment, then we have failure of the technology governance and digital inequality. So these are the risks that India is going to face as per the economic survey. ठीक है जी, let's move on to the next question. And the next question, what is the projected growth rate for agriculture and allied sector of India? Once again a question which is a star question for all of you for your NABARD Grade A exam, because I already told you कि यूनियन बजट के अंदर और इकोनॉमिक सर्वे के अंदर जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं एग्रीकल्चर से रिलेटेड, यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू कवर देम वेरी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर गाइस मैं जब बात करूं व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर हियर, द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन सी, दैट इज 3.9%. तो 3.9% इज बेसिकली ये जो ग्रोथ रेट है एग्रीकल्चर और अलाइड एक्टिविटीज की एज पर इकोनॉमिक सर्वे 2021-2022. ठीक है, आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. अब अगला क्वेश्चन आता है आपका एक्सपोर्ट टारगेट के ऊपर. तो इंडिया का एक्सपोर्ट टारगेट क्या है फॉर द पीरियड 2021-2022? Let's see who will answer the question correctly here. India's export target as per economic survey 2021-2022 is it $350 billion, $400 billion, or $450, $500 billion, or the none of the above? So here I am getting the right answer from the people here. Absolutely right, guys. The right answer is $400 billion. So Nilesh, Music, Ravi Shankar, Mega, everybody has answered the question correctly. That is $400 billion. ठीक है जी, और यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हो another important information which is being mentioned here, that India has already attained more than 75% of the ambitious export target of $400 billion. ठीक है, for year 2021-2022. तो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टारगेट. और एक्सपोर्ट टारगेट की जब हम बात करें तो एक्सपोर्ट प्रिपेयर्डनेस इंडेक्स भी आपके लिए काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, वो भी हम करेंगे आने वाली स्लाइड्स के अंदर, बट उससे पहले हम अपना खत्म करते हैं इकोनॉमिक सर्वे को. तो इकोनॉमिक सर्वे के अकॉर्डिंग व्हाट एग्जैक्टली वाज द ग्रॉस नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एडवांसेस ratio of the scheduled commercial banks at the end of September 2021, a data which is really related to the banking sector, but it is really very important from the exam point of view. So quickly tell me what is the right answer here. You are required to tell me the GNPA as per end of the September 2021, and guys here the right answer is option B, that is 6.9%. Absolutely right, everybody has answered the question correctly, that is 6.9%. तो आप यहाँ देख सकते हो it basically declined from 11.2% at the end of 2017 to 6.9% at the end of September 2021. तो ये जो important data है इसके ऊपर question आ सकता है एग्जाम के अंदर. Kindly remember such kind of data from the exam point of view. ठीक है जी, अब हम बढ़ते हैं अपने अगले question की तरफ guys, and the next question is, what is the rank of India in terms of the largest forest area in the world as per recently released Economic Survey of India 2021 and 2022? And here guys the right answer is option D, that is 10th. So India has basically got the 10th largest forest area in the world, a very important data. तो फॉरेस्ट से रिलेटेड हम आपको बताएं इंडिया स्टेट ऑफ द फॉरेस्ट रिपोर्ट गुरकीरत सर ऑलरेडी आपको पूरी डिटेल के अंदर अपने एक सेशन के अंदर करा चुके हैं इसी सीरीज के. तो अगर आपने उसको नहीं देखा है तो काइंडली गो बैक एंड सी दैट, क्योंकि ये जो फॉरेस्ट से रिलेटेड चीजें हैं दे आर वंस अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. सोशल स्ट्रक्चर एनवायरमेंट का ये पार्ट आता है, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है, सो everybody has answered the question correctly. Well done. Let's move on to the next question. अब यहां पर मैं आपको बताऊंगा इस इकोनॉमिक सर्वे के अंदर नेशनल लैंड मोनेटाइजेशन कॉर्पोरेशन दैट इज NLMC, तो इसके सेटअप करने की भी बात की गई, उसको भी डिस्कस किया गया. तो अब आपको मुझे बताना है कि जो इनिशियल ऑथराइज शेयर कैपिटल है NLMC की वो कितनी है. What exactly is the initial authorized share capital for the National Land Monetization Corporation? Is it 3,000 crores, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 crores? Guys, what is the right answer to the question number 28? So absolutely right, everybody saying that it is 5,000 crores, and absolutely right. The right answer to the initial share capital, authorized share capital for the NLMC, it is basically 5,000 crores. ठीक है जी, तो यहां पर आप देख सकते हो गवर्नमेंट इज सेटिंग अप द नेशनल लैंड मोनेटाइजेशन कॉर्पोरेशन, जिसकी इनिशियल ऑथराइज्ड शेयर कैपिटल होगी आपकी 5,000 करोड़ रुपीस. अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. एंड नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट जिसके ऊपर एक क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, दैट इज दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट विल बी 100% गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ओन्ड entity. ठीक है, that is why this is really very important. Let's move on to the next question, and the next question you are required to tell me that what exactly is India's rank in terms of startup ecosystem. तो startup ecosystem की जब मैं बात करूं तो आपको मुझे बताना है कि what exactly is the India's rank. We all know that right now government of India is basically encouraging the creation of the startups. startups को बहुत ज्यादा प्रमोट किया जा रहा है. तो अब startup के अंदर उस ecosystem के अंदर इंडिया की रैंक क्या है, that is what you are required to tell me. So absolutely right, most of the people are saying that option B is the right answer, and that is absolutely right guys. The right answer is third. India has got the third position in this part. So here you can see India has become the third largest startup ecosystem in the world after US and China. So on the first position it was US, followed with China, and on the third position India is basically there. ठीक है, जब हम बात करते हैं नंबर ऑफ रिकॉग्नाइज्ड स्टार्टअप्स की, तो इट वाज बेसिकली इंक्रीज टू ओवर 14,000 in 2021-2022, and this number was just 733 in 2016-2017. And here you can see that it almost increased how much time, 733 to 14,000, a very much increase, exponential increase in the number of startups in our country. ठीक है जी, now let's move on to the next question, and the next question is that what is the name of the country which has become the first country across the world to adopt UPI standards for its QR code as per the recently released Economic Survey of India 2021-2022. So just tell me that what exactly is the name of the country here. Is it Singapore, Nepal, Bhutan, or Bangladesh, or Maldives? Quickly tell me in the comment section guys, what is the right answer to the question number 30. And here people are saying that Bhutan is the right answer. Absolutely right, the right answer is Bhutan. So guys, UPI को जो अडॉप्ट करने वाला है that is basically Bhutan. तो आप यहाँ देख सकते हो Unified Payment Interface which is currently the single largest retail payment system in the country. और यहाँ पर इसको मैं देखें तो रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया और मॉनेटरी अथॉरिटी जो है सिंगापुर की, उन्होंने एक प्रोजेक्ट लॉन्च किया जिसमें वो यूपीआई को और पे नाउ जो कि सिंगापुर का है उसको लिंक करने वाले हैं। बट जब हम बात करते हैं अडॉप्शन की, यूपीआई के जो स्टैंडर्ड्स उसको अडॉप्ट करने की, सो इट वाज बेसिकली the Bhutan became the first country across the world to adopt the standards for its QR code। तो अपने QR code के लिए उन्होंने यूपीआई के स्टैंडर्ड्स को अडॉप्ट किया है, and that is what is the right answer to this particular part. Absolutely right. So let's move on to the next question here. So guys, the next question is on once again a very important report, that is Unified District Information System for the Education Plus. We all know that the education is once again a very important topic from the exam point of view. We have already covered the NEP, that is National Education Policy 2020। ठीक है जी, हम ये कल के सेशन के अंदर कर चुके हैं, तो क्यों ना एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग से रिपोर्ट को पढ़ा जाए, that is UDISE plus report। तो quickly tell me that what exactly is the name of the organization which has come up with this report? That is UDISE plus report, and guys absolutely right, the right answer is मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन which has come up with this particular report। ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पर हम प्रीवियस ईयर एग्जाम के अंदर देख चुके हैं कि एनईपी से रिलेटेड काफी क्वेश्चंस हैं, और ये जो रिपोर्ट हमारी मार्च के अंदर रिलीज हुई थी, एंड दिस रिपोर्ट वंस अगेन इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रिपोर्ट फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। तो नाउ क्विकली टेल मी दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द राइट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन। तो यूडीआईएसई प्लस रिपोर्ट के अकॉर्डिंग आपको बताना है कि व्हाट इज द नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स enrolled in the school education from primary to higher secondary school level in 2020-2021। ठीक है, तो the very first dimension of covering any kind of report is that what exactly is the releasing body, किसने रिलीज किया। Second important thing, the framework। Third important thing, ranking। Then important finding and recommendation। तो ये जो आपका क्वेश्चन है, it is basically from the fourth dimension of this particular report, that is the important finding। And here guys the right answer is absolutely option 2, that is 25.38 crore। So Nilesh, Vishal, Kunal, Vishal, Arya, everybody has answered the question correctly, that is 25.38 crores। So well done guys, here you can see that it is 25.38 crores, and this is basically 28.32 lakh higher than the previous part। ठीक है जी। Now when I talk about the teacher strength, तो टीचर की स्ट्रेंथ कितनी थी? It was basically in 2020-2021 it was 96.96 lakh। So that was basically the teacher strength as per the UDISE plus report। ठीक है। Now moving on to the next question। In the next question, you are required to tell me about the number of enrolled girls from the primary to higher secondary level into 2021-2022। So guys, quickly tell me what is the right answer here। 2020-21 के लिए जो enrolled girls है primary to higher education वो कितनी है? What exactly their number is? Is it 11.7 crore, 12.2 crore, 12.56 or 13.1 or 13.65 crores? Let's see who will answer the question correctly here। So quickly tell me that what is the right answer to the question number 33। Absolutely right guys, the right answer is 12.20 crores। So यहाँ पर 12.20 crore is the right answer to the question। So Nilesh is in 13.1। See, 13.1 is not the right answer, the right answer is 12.20 crore। ठीक है जी, I hope this is clear guys। Here you can see that it was 12.20 crore, an increase of 11.8 lakh was as compared to the value which was in the 2019-2020। ठीक है, so these are the important terms, these are the important facts and figures which you are required to remember from the UDISE plus report। And now let's move on to the report which I already told you that we are going to discuss, as we discuss the export target of India as per the economic survey। Now why not let us also discuss the export preparedness index, a very important report। तो export preparedness index की जब हम बात करें तो very first dimension here is the releasing body। So quickly tell me that what exactly is the releasing body of the export preparedness index 2021। And here guys the right answer to the question is Niti Aayog in collaboration with the Institute of Competitiveness। And let me tell you here that the report which is released by this body, that is Niti Aayog, they are really very important। नीति आयोग इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो कि बहुत ज्यादा एक्टिव है इन रिलीजिंग द रिपोर्ट्स एंड इंडेक्सेस। बहुत सारी रिपोर्ट्स है, फॉर एग्जांपल एसडीजी इंडिया इंडेक्स। तो इस तरीके की जो रिपोर्ट्स हैं आपको जरूर करनी है। नीति आयोग से रिलेटेड जितनी रिपोर्ट्स हैं यू आर रियली रिक्वायर्ड टू कवर देम। ठीक है, नाउ तो यहां पर हम जब बात करें एक्सपोर्ट प्रिपेयरनेस इंडेक्स की, तो पहले हमने पढ़ लिया कि व्हाट इज एग्जैक्टली द रिलीजिंग बॉडी। पर जब हम बात करते हैं कि फ्रेमवर्क की, तो इट बेसिकली assesses the states across 4 pillars, and what exactly those 4 pillars are? Here you can see that these are policy, business ecosystem, export ecosystem and export performance। तो जब हम बात करते हैं यहां से एक और क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछा जा सकता है कि what is exactly the name of the pillar which is having the highest weightage as per the export preparedness index, और उसका आंसर होगा business ecosystem which is having 40% of the weightage in these 4 pillars. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर आपको ऐसी चीजों को याद रखना होगा from the exam point of view. Let's move on to the next question. और तो अगला question है guys, this is the last question of our today's session, and here you are going to tell me the name of the state which has topped the recently released Export Preparedness Index 2021, the third important dimension of any report, that is important ranking. और जब भी आप बात करते हो important rank की, तो टॉप परफॉर्मर, वर्स्ट परफॉर्मर आपको हमेशा करना जरूरी है. ठीक है, तो quickly tell me what is the right answer. The name of the state which has topped the Export Preparedness Index 2021, and absolutely right guys, the right answer is Gujarat. So Gujarat is the right answer to the question. And when I talk about the worst performer that was at the bottom of this index, that was Lakshadweep. ठीक है, तो ये तो हमने कर लिया, but this report also divides the Indian states and UTs across various kind of categories. For example, you can see here there are coastal, landlocked, Himalayan and UT and city states. जब हम बात करते हैं कोस्टल की, तो कोस्टल के अंदर गुजरात वाज द टॉप परफॉर्मर. अमंग द लैंडलॉक्ड स्टेट्स इट वाज बेसिकली हरियाणा. इन द हिमालयन स्टेट्स इट वाज उत्तराखंड व्हिच वाज द टॉप परफॉर्मर, एंड इन द यूटी एंड सिटी स्टेट्स इट वाज दिल्ली which was the top performer in the Export Preparedness Index 2021 released by the Niti Aayog along with the Institute for Competitiveness. ठीक है जी, so guys that was all from the today's session, and there is a good news for all of you. First of all, happy Rakhi to all of you. ठीक है जी, और इस राखी के पावन अवसर पर we are offering you flat 40% plus additional 10% off on our various courses for the RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A and SEBI Grade A exam. But in order to avail this discount, what exactly is the code you are required to use? That is EduTap. ठीक है, kindly use EduTap. And guys, I would like to mention here that this particular code is only valid from 11th of August to 12th of August 2022. So do not forget to use this particular code in this timeline, that is 11th to 12th of August 2022. So now guys, if you are having any kind of query, you can ask your queries and then we will be concluding this particular session. So people are saying that sir please provide PDF. guys, do not worry about it. PDF आपको मिल जाएंगी हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल के ऊपर. ठीक है, और डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स के अंदर आपको टेलीग्राम का लिंक भी मिल जाएगा, वहां पर आपको PDF मिल जाएगी. यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट इट. ठीक है, सो आई रियली बिलीव कि आज का सेशन काफी इंटरेस्टिंग था एंड यू मस्ट हैव एंजॉयड दिस पर्टिकुलर सेशन. इफ यू गाइस आर हैविंग एनी फीडबैक यू कैन जस्ट मेंशन दैट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन, एज वेल एज यू कैन आल्सो मेल अस टू hello@edutap.co.in. आपको कोई क्वेरीज भी हैं जो आपको अभी नहीं आ रही, बट व्हेन यू विल बी रिवाइजिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर सेशन and you are finding any kind of query, what you can do, you can just share your query at hello@edutap.co.in. You can also call us at 8146207241. ठीक है, so people are saying okay, thank you for this wonderful session guys. This you are basically the reason that why this particular session was basically successful. ठीक है जी, so I really believe कि today's session was really fruitful and very good to all of you. तो आप सभी को यहाँ पर कोई भी queries नहीं है as I am getting as per the comments which you are posting in the comment section. So thank you so much guys. So I think that we can conclude this particular session, and once again happy Rakhi to all of you. Wish you all stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy learning.